Top 10 NFL sprint in Alabama, 4 are still campaigning, and there are many more on the road. George Gulianix held on to the number 10 spot on Alabama's all-time NFL rushing list for another season, although it's likely to be his last in that position as he finally falls out of the Crimson Tide's alumni top 10. Gulianix ran for 2,081 yards and 19 touchdowns on 509 carries playing for the Chicago Bears from 1947 through 1952. More NFL times meet the 2021 NFL All-State Team for Alabama. Times Alabama roots, who was the best NFL player of 2021. Times Alabama alumni extend NFL touchdown streak with record season. In the 2021 NFL season, New England Patriots running back Damian Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers running back Najee Harris, and Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts pushed their career rushing totals past 1,100 yards. Najee Harris did it in his rookie season with 1,200 rushing yards. Damian Harris ran for 929 yards and Hurts had 784 rushing yards in 2021. Harris produced the 18th 1,000-yard rushing season by an Alabama alumnus. Sean Alexander had 5 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram have 3 apiece, with 2 each are Josh Jacobs, Bobby Humphrey and Eddie Lacy. Damian Harris will need 449 yards to catch Gulianix in 2022. Gulianix played for Alabama briefly in 1941 before being drafted into the U.S. Army. After World War II, he joined the Bears and was the NFL's best punter in 1947 and 1949. There was only one change in the order of Alabama's top 10 all-time NFL rushers, even though 4 of the players were active in 2021. They were among the 14 Crimson Tide alumni who ran for 6,072 yards and 61 touchdowns on 1,452 carries this season. Jacobs moved to 8th in the Alabama rushing ranking by surpassing Bobby Humphrey's career total. The top 10 NFL ball carriers among Alabama alumni: Sean Alexander, 9,453 rushing yards; Seattle Seahawks 2000-2007, Washington Redskins 2008. Alexander averaged 4.3 yards on 2,187 carries and scored 100 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Alexander led the NFL with 1,880 rushing yards and 27 rushing touchdowns in 2005, when he won the league's MVP award. Alexander ran for at least 1,175 yards every season from 2001 through 2005. Mark Ingram, 7,878 rushing yards. New Orleans Saints 2011-18, 2021 Baltimore Ravens 2019-20, Houston Texans 2021. The 2009 Heisman Trophy winner has averaged 4.5 yards on 1,755 carries and scored 64 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Ingram recorded 1,000-yard seasons in 2016, 2017, and 2019. In 2021, Ingram ran for 554 yards and 2 touchdowns on 160 carries. Derrick Henry, 6,797 rushing yards. Tennessee Titans 2016-21, the 2015 Heisman Trophy winner, has averaged 4.9 yards on 1,401 carries and scored 65 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. A 1,000-yard rusher in each of the previous 3 seasons and the NFL rushing leader in the previous 2, Henry seemed on his way to make it 3 rushing crowns in a row when he sustained a fractured foot in the 8th game in 2021 and missed the remaining 9 regular season games. Henry finished this season with 937 yards and 10 touchdowns on 219 carries. Wilbur Jackson, 3,852 rushing yards. San Francisco 49ers 1974-79, Washington Redskins 1980-82, a prep standout at Carroll High School in Ozark. Jackson averaged 4.0 yards on 971 carries and scored 13 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Jackson ran for at least 700 yards in 4 seasons, reaching a high of 792 in 1976. His final game came in Washington's 27-17 victory over the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl 17. Eddie Lacy, 3,614 rushing yards. Green Bay Packers 2013-16, Seattle Seahawks 2017, Lacy averaged 4.2 yards on 857 carries and scored 23 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Lacy ran for 1,178 yards as a rookie and 1,139 yards the next season. Tony Nathan, 3,543 rushing yards. Miami Dolphins 1979-87, the former Woodlawn High School standout averaged 4.8 yards on 732 carries and scored 16 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Nathan had more receiving yards than rushing yards in the NFL, with 383 receptions for 3,592 yards and 16 TDS, and was the All-Pro kickoff returner as a rookie. Nathan's top rushing season came in 1981, when he had 782 yards. Kenyon Drake, 3,384 rushing yards. Miami Dolphins 2016 to 2019, Arizona Cardinals 2019-20, Las Vegas Raiders 2021. Drake has averaged 4.5 yards on 758 carries and scored 29 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Drake set career highs in 2020 with 955 yards and 10 touchdowns on 239 rushing attempts. A broken ankle curtailed Drake's production in 2021 as he ran for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns on 63 carries. Josh Jacobs, 3,087 rushing yards. Oakland or Las Vegas Raiders 2019-21. Jacobs has averaged 4.2 yards on 732 carries and scored 28 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Jacobs surpassed 1,000 rushing yards in his first 2 seasons before running for 872 yards and 9 touchdowns on 217 carries in 15 games in 2021. Bobby Humphrey, 2,857 rushing yards. Denver Broncos 1989-91, Miami Dolphins 1992. The former Glenn standout averaged 4.1 yards on 695 carries and scored 15 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. Humphrey had 2,353 rushing yards and 14 rushing TDS in his first 2 NFL seasons, eclipsing 1,000 yards in each. George Gulianix, 2,081 rushing yards. Chicago Bears 1947-52, Gulianix averaged 4.1 yards on 509 carries and scored 19 rushing touchdowns during his NFL career. In his top rushing season, he had 571 yards as the left halfback for the Bears in 1950. Gulianix was the NFL's best punter twice, averaging 44.8 yards per punt in 1947 and 47.2 in 1949. For more of all.com's coverage of the NFL, go to our NFL page. Mark Anabanet is a sports reporter for Alabama Media Group. Follow him on Twitter at @AMarkG1.